Alright, listen up, because I've got some hot news that very few people have picked up on yet in the Honolulu Blue and Silver. Today's conversation isn't just a regular chat. It's the kind of talk that could directly impact the heart of the season. And I'm telling you, this isn't the same old media spin. This is real deal from the stands in sight. Stick with me because some heavy stuff is coming right up. But first, pay attention. Almost 90% of you who watch still haven't clicked that subscribe button. Come on, show some love. It helps the Honolulu Blue and Silver channel grow so much. Smash that like button and drop a comment too, because I want to hear your take. This conversation isn't just mine, it's ours, and every comment fuels the debate. So, some news from behind the scenes just dropped that few people are talking about. The Lions have signed linebacker Monty Rice, a former Georgia Bulldog who was a third-round pick back in 2021. The guy went from the Titans to the Patriots and now lands on Detroit's practice squad. A lot of people might look at this sideways like, oh, just another body for practice. But hold on, because there's more to unpack with this move. Back in college, Rice was considered the heart of Georgia's defense in 2020, leading the team in tackles and earning the Defensive MVP award. So, he's always had talent and a knack for the game. The problem, as we all know, is that the NFL demands more than just instinct. He struggled with injuries with the Titans and never truly found his footing. He was there for 3 years, with one season even showing decent numbers. 66 tackles in 2022, but nothing that guaranteed a solid starting spot. Then, he was cut at the end of 2023. With the Patriots, he didn't last long, getting cut in August. And now, he's on the Lions' radar. This is where it gets interesting. Dan Campbell and company don't just bring guys in for no reason. If they've put him on the practice squad, it's because they see a potential for him to contribute, even if it's just on special teams. And remember, Rice has played a lot in that role. It's where he's been most active in recent years, so his chance to earn a spot starts right there. To be honest with you all, we can't have insane expectations. He's not coming in as a savior, but as a low-risk gamble. However, and here's the detail that few people pay attention to, Detroit is building a roster with depth. That means that when the season gets tough, a player like Rice could hold down the fort, even if it's just for a rotational play. The diehard fan knows, how many times have we lost games because of a lack of roster depth? Another thing, he's another former Georgia Bulldog finding his way in the NFL. The Cardinals also picked up Channing Tindall for their practice squad. This detail shows how those college defenses are still producing talent in the league. In Rice's case, if his head is in the game and his body responds, it's very possible to imagine him getting some snaps in important games. So I ask you, is it a gamble worth taking or not? The salary is minimal, the risk is tiny, and the reward could be a useful player in a crucial moment. Comment below if you think this type of signing is just roster filler or if it could become a hidden ace. Because honestly, I have a hunch that he could still surprise us. Now, hold on tight, because the next piece of news impacts the starting lineup even more. And this one could be a real cause for concern. Listen up, because this is serious. Veteran left tackle Taylor Decker has missed his third straight practice. And when that happens, my friend, everyone starts to get nervous because this isn't just any position. We're talking about the guy who protects the blind side, the most valuable shield for Jared Goff to breathe easy. And when his shoulder shows up on the medical report, there's no way a fan can avoid getting that uneasy feeling. Dan Campbell tried to downplay it, saying they're buying time for Decker. But let's be real, when a coach starts talking like he's played a lot of football, he'll be ready if he has to be, it's a sign that things aren't 100%. If the guy hasn't practiced all week, how are we supposed to believe he's going to come out unscathed against the Chicago Bears? We can't fool ourselves. And let's not forget that in the last game against the Packers, there were already communication problems on the line. Glasgow was hunched over, not getting a good read on the opposing front, and the guys were trying to improvise their blocking assignments. The result? Confusion, failed protection, and Goff feeling the pressure. And that was with Decker still on the field. Now, imagine without him. The natural replacement would be Giovanni Manu. He's a young guy, he's strong, but let's be honest, you can't compare the experience. When Campbell says every player has their strengths and things to develop, we understand the code. It means there will be mistakes. There will be learning on the fly. But in the NFL, learning is expensive. It costs yards, it costs sacks, and it costs lost games. And that's where the collective pressure comes in. The women who follow the team are also commenting, how can a team with high hopes risk it with failing communication on the offensive line? And it's true, because this unit is what gives the entire offense its foundation. If there's no synchronization, if there's no leadership, everything falls apart. To be honest, I see this situation as a red flag. The team has the pieces, but they can't live on improvisation. Decker's health needs to be a priority because without him, the season could get complicated fast, and the diehard fan knows. We've suffered enough with flimsy offensive lines in the past. No one wants to revisit that nightmare. So the question is, would you risk putting Manu out there right away, or would you try to hold on to a banged-up Decker? I don't know about you, but my heart can't handle watching Goff run for his life on every snap. Drop a comment because this is one of those topics that divides the barstool conversation. And hold on tight because the next bombshell is about a potential reinforcement on the line, and that could shake things up even more. Now the conversation is heating up for real. Cody Whitehair's name is starting to circulate heavily on the Lions' radar. Yes, that veteran who's been around for almost 10 years in the league, played for the Bears, had a quick stint with the Raiders, and is now a free agent. And I'm telling you, this could be a surgical move. He's not a superstar, but he's the kind of reinforcement that changes the foundation of the roster. Why? Because the guy is versatile. He can play guard, he can play center, he's shown it many times. And if you look at what Campbell and the staff value, it's exactly that ability to adapt. John Morton, the offensive coordinator, loves having players who offer options. And Hank Fraley, who leads the offensive line, preaches intensity and consistency. Whitehair delivers both. Another thing, he's not going to come in and break the bank. The Lions' salary cap doesn't allow for crazy moves, and his market value is affordable. It's a short-term, low-risk, high-potential contract. This balance is perfect for Detroit, which is in a playoff contending phase but without losing sight of the future. Having someone like him also helps accelerate the development of guys like Tate Ratledge, a rookie who's still adapting. And let's face it, locker room experience matters too. The team has been building a culture of collective toughness, that all-in-this-together vibe, and Whitehair is seen as a leader. He can be a voice that organizes the group when the pressure ramps up. This doesn't show up on the stat sheet, but it makes a difference on Sunday. To be honest with you all, I see this speculation as more than just smoke. There are no official negotiations yet, but analysts like Justin Rogers and Dave Burkett have already pointed out that the front office is hunting for this exact profile: controlled cost, versatility, and immediate impact. And if these guys are hitting on that point, it's because the smoke could turn into fire. It's no exaggeration to say that with a single signing, Detroit could solve two problems: interior line depth and experienced leadership. How many times have we seen teams die in the playoffs because of a failed pocket protection? That's where championships are won or lost. And Campbell knows you can't take that risk. So what do you all think? Is it worth bringing in a 33-year-old veteran, or is it better to bet on the young guys and let them grow? I'm inclined to say Whitehair would be a smart, strategic addition. Comment below if you agree or if you think it's just a fleeting rumor. And hold on, because the next piece of news isn't about a question or speculation. It's a heavy reality that has already impacted the locker room: a blockbuster renewal at the wide receiver position. Check this out, because this isn't a rumor or speculation. It's official. Jameson Williams has signed a contract extension with the Lions, 3 years through 2029, for a value that could reach up to $83 million. That's big money, but I'm telling you, this has the feel of a move that's going to shape the future. And listen, JMO himself made it clear: I found my home here. That hits home for any diehard fan. The guy came in with some people doubting him, remember? An early injury, a complicated adjustment, people saying he was a high risk. But today, he's a central piece of the offense. He's a go-to guy, and he's earned the trust of the team and the city. When he says he feels Detroit's culture and that he loves the fans, that's not empty talk. He's in the community, does charity events, talks to fans, and takes pictures with no fuss. That creates a real connection. Dan Campbell was also thrilled with the deal. He said he wanted to get it done fast, that it was a relief to get that weight off their shoulders. And he's right. The sooner a contract is settled, the more focus there is for the field. The team needed that stability. Now Williams can play without any doubts about his future, knowing he's part of the long-term plan. And it's not just a number on paper. He mentioned that he's never had a bad interaction with a fan, that from the very first year when the team was 1-5, the stadium was already filling up and people believed. That shows how much he's embraced the city and how much Detroit has embraced him back. That kind of exchange is rare in the modern NFL, where players often only think about big markets. For those of us who have followed for decades, this is emotional because we've seen stars leave without a second glance. To see a young talent say, "I don't want to be anywhere else, I want to be here," gives you the feeling that something different is happening. The women in the fan base are also commenting because it represents a commitment that isn't just sports but human and community. Williams is present, accessible, and a man of the people. Now, from a technical standpoint, he still has a lot to improve on. Campbell even said, "We expect a lot more from him." In other words, this isn't the finish line, it's the starting point. And that's what's so exciting. The guy has already shown absurd speed, sharp routes, and chemistry with Goff, but he can still deliver more, and the staff believes it. So let's be honest, you guys. Do you also feel that this contract isn't just about money, but about the team's identity? I see Williams as a symbol of the turning point, a guy who helped solidify this winning culture. Comment below if you agree. And hold on, because it's not over yet. I'm going to tie all of this together in the conclusion with a bold vision of what this moment represents for the Lions. And after all of this, can you deny that the Lions are in a different place? The arrival of new pieces, real concern for the Lions' health, speculation about an experienced veteran, and a blockbuster renewal on offense, everything points to the fact that this team isn't the same as it was in the past. It's bold, but I'll say it. Detroit finally looks ready to compete on an equal footing. Now I want to hear from you all. Comment below. This space belongs to everyone who lives and breathes Honolulu Blue and Silver. Tune in for the next video, because new topics are always popping up.